Hey there, this video comes from the PigCake Magic Academy. The reason I'm putting it here is to hopefully entice you to join. Some people think that I'm idiotic for putting out the entire content here for you to watch, but you get access to over 1,200 videos, I believe 1,300 at this point if you join. So go ahead, you can look at the link in the description section below and see the type of content that I'm putting out on the Academy. So make sure to check it out after you watch the video. So on today's Card Academy lesson, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a combination of two wonderful classic routines that I first saw done by Roberto Giobbi. Now, this is going to be a variation on his take of the classic plot, but I think this one is a little bit better because it doesn't use gaffed cards. You could tell by the title of the trick exactly what we're doing. We're combining the color changing deck with the Red Hot Mama or Chicago opener, and I think it's a wonderful meld of them both. So let's go over and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So for this, we're going to be using a deck of playing cards. As you can see, all the cards are different. And in a moment, so I'm going to have you select any one of these cards. It's going to be very important that to you, there's a selection that's completely fair and without any guile. You're more than welcome to shuffle the deck at this point. It really doesn't matter. And ultimately, we're going to have the participants select a card. In this case, you could remove the jokers if you want. But ultimately, let's say they pick the Queen of Diamonds. Almost by magic, that card returns to my hand. But here, we give this a little bit of an illusion to the participant where we spin the card twice. And now, believe it or not, that card is actually turned a different color. In this case, it's turned red. Isn't that weird? Because you could have named any card. You really could have picked any card you wanted. You could have picked the 7, in this case, the 2. But instead, you went with that card and it changed color. I know you're wondering what happens if, in this case, we do it again. And in this case, if we do it again, the card doesn't change color, but rather the deck changes color. In this case, we have a color-changing deck illusion where all the cards have now changed to red. But here's the thing. Most participants are going to say, hey, buddy, do it again. Do it again. I don't believe that you could do it again. And here, we acquiesce. We show them that, in fact, we can do it again. So the participant happens to name any card. Let's say they happen to name the 5 of diamonds, and watch one more time. In this case, we'll take the card, we'll wave it over, and look, believe it or not, one card and one card alone has now turned blue in the pack. Unbelievably so, one card has turned blue. What card did you name, sir? You named the 5 of diamonds, of course, their card. But I know what you were thinking, because remember, this card turned red, and now this one turned blue. That doesn't make any sense. But I'll tell you what, if I rub this one right here, the 5 actually turns red. And now we have a deck that's fully examinable. All the cards could be looked at. They could be studied to the participant's desire. And, well, you're left with a perfectly ordinary deck. So the setup for this routine is 2 jokers that are from a different color back. We're going to place that on top of a normal deck that is, in this case, red. Now you put this in a blue box. You're going to remove the cards and you're going to place them on the table. You're now going to talk to the participant about showing them this little thing with playing cards that a lot of people don't necessarily know about. And please refrain from going into any sort of display right now with the cards where you're showing them like this. You don't need to. You've already done all the proof you need by removing this from a blue box and placing the deck down. Now you can shuffle the cards while keeping those cards in place and then turn the deck back face down, which implies, again, that this is a normal, ordinary deck. Now, at some point, I'm going to take the deck in my left hand, and I'm going to notice that the top card is a joker. At this point, as I notice this, I'm just going to retain a break right there below the uppermost card of the deck, which is the other joker. And you're going to do a bluff. The idea is that you're going to take both of these jokers and place them face down. However, that's not what you're going to do. So the way that we bluff that is as follows. We're going to take one joker and place it on top, and now we're going to lift up both cards slightly as to not show the red condition of the card underneath. And we're going to use our thumb to slide this card off onto the deck. We're then going to take this card over here and say, we'll get rid of the jokers for now. And all I've done here is that I've just taken this card and I'm just gliding it across the back, simulating that I'm picking up both of these cards and placing them aside. Really, I've taken just one of those jokers. So that action at speed just looks like this. That's it. And all it looks like I've done is taken the jokers and placed them aside. Really, all I've done is placed a joker. I'm not making a move of this. I'm just doing this casually. I'm just going to take these for now, sir. I don't want you to pick one of those. Just go ahead and select any card you want. And now I'm into it. And the situation is that we have a joker on top and we have the rest of the deck. And pretty much now we're just going to get into a classic standard color changing deck. So we're going to have the participant touch any card they want. We're going to remove this card from the pack. We're going to turn the entire pack over and now place this into the middle of the deck. You can now do this little flourish by pressing up with your forefinger and spinning the card. What that does is that just spins the card twice, and that gives you a nice little magical moment. And here we have the first effect. The first effect is that this card happens to change color, which is a great one. And here you could make a display where you say, look, you could have named any card you wanted. And here I'm going to swing cut a pile, point to this card with my finger. And really, this is showing the fact that we just have random blue cards throughout the entire deck. Really, this is the exact same Joker that's on top of the deck. And I'm supposedly just showing them different options that they could have picked. So right now, the perception is that these are different areas in a deck, and these are all blue cards, which is a great position to be in. Now, at this point, all you need to do is control this Joker to second from the face. So however you want to do that, personally, the way I like to do that is just riffling up here and just cutting that card, doing a double undercut so that now it's second from the face. Because in a moment, what you're going to need to do is spread call that card. Now, if you want, you could put it in a position, in this case, third from the face. That might be easier for you to spread call. However, I like using it second from the top of the deck. And now we're going to have the second effect. The second effect is we're going to take this card, we're going to place it back in the middle, we're going to execute that same exact flourish, and we say, look, now, if we do this again, a different thing happens. Now, all the cards actually turn red, each and every single card. And here I'm going to spread all the cards, at least until I know that I'm getting closer to the bottom as to hide that card. So now I could spread, and this is going to be another striking effect, where we have essentially a deck that's changed color. So first, any named card changes color, then the entire deck. So this is a wonderful effect. And now we're going to mention to the participant, well, I know what you're thinking. Do it again, Magic Boy. And you tell them, you know what? I will do it one more time. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to spread until I notice the Joker. Now, when I notice that Joker, all I'm going to do is I'm going to get that card in a position where it's going to be spread cold underneath the spread. Because now I'm going to offer the participant for them to touch any card they want, any card that they could see. And whatever card they name, I'm going to make sure that that Joker that's being spread cold goes directly below that card. And now here, what this allows you to do is you're going to have a red hot mama or a Chicago opener style effect. And now you could do the exact same thing. You could take the card as you did before, do a little magic motion. And now, whereas before the entire deck turned, now only one card turns. And you could spread and show the fact that we only have one blue card in the deck, because that really is the condition. There's only one blue card in the deck. At this point, I'm getting a break underneath the card below that blue card. I also suggest not to use plastic cards. This is a plastic Joker. This is a paper deck, so there's a little bit of a confusion when it comes to the handling, but I'm sure you're not going to go through that. And now you're just simply going to do a double lift. So I'm going to show the fact that the card they named happens to be the only blue card in the deck. Now to clean up, you have a 2-for-1, which I think is a wonderful addition to the original routine. You're going to take this card and turn it face down as you make a mention as to the fact that you've turned the cards from blue to red. And now this card is blue. So how do we solve that? Well, we're just going to take the card. As we take it, we're going to risk kill this so that they don't see the Joker. And I'm going to take it and just rub it on that card. But notice where my hand gently rests. My hand rests on top of the Joker. So as I'm doing this, I'm getting a break underneath that Joker, where now where I'm rubbing this and the attention is rubbing here, I'm ditching that Joker on top of the other one. So this Joker has been here the entire time, just invisible. It's in full view, but it's invisible because, well, we don't need it. It just happens to be a discard. And now as I rub this card and the attention is here, and I turn this card over to show that it's changed color again, I've taken the opportunity to ditch the Joker on top of the other one. So now you have a very clean effect where this card has changed color again, and technically, everything is examinable because you've ditched the card on top of the Joker. Before, you had to ditch the Gaff card with the Jokers, and this one, I think, adds to it brilliantly because by just having one Joker placed in the beginning, we're now allowed to use this as a sort of invisible ditching area, even though it's visible. So now they can look at the deck and you could continue with any trick that you want using this brand new color changed deck. Now, what I love a lot about this routine is that ditch at the end where we're essentially left spotless. We're taking advantage of the fact that the Jokers are technically on the table and they're visible, but they're invisible because they're not part of the overall routine. And here we've managed to perform a trick where not only has the deck changed color, but also the card changes color, and we managed to acquiesce to a potential request from them, which is, yeah, but do it again. And here we managed to do it again, giving them a red hot mama or Chicago opener style ending, and everything is left for them to look at using a very ordinary deck. You can get into whatever trick you want. So I think this is a brilliant opener, especially because it has a lot of magic moments, and we're left with a regular deck of playing cards. You could remove these Jokers, place them in your pocket at your leisure, and you are ready to go. So that is the color-changing Chicago opener. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, this is a variation of a classic plot by Roberto Giobbi, and I think he is a brilliant person to study. And as always, I hope to see you on the next lesson.
I see you again when I see you again. When I see when I see you again, when I see you again, when I see you again.